Midjourney have been a great developments recently. They got a Midjourney version 5 and it's just great. Okay, so I already generate that. I just say that sprite shade of a brown tile into the game, and then you can get that image. Okay, and then what we are going to do is to put that image into your project. Okay, and I'm going to use Midjourney along the way. Even though I read online some people write an article say that Midjourney currently is not capable of generating the game assets, but just think about it. You are not going to use all of it. You just need to use the best of the content generated by Midjourney, and that's absolutely enough for the indie developer, and because it's fast. Okay, you don't need to draw everything yourself. You can quickly generate that. So say you generate 100 assets, and most of it is not up to the standard of your game, but just one or two. You can completely just copy and paste and use that, import that to your game. That will be enough, because as long as there is one in a million, say, assets generated by some artificial intelligence is useful for you, this is a great achievement. Okay, that means that the AI can do the work. Just need more training for that. Okay, so once you understand that, you can save a lot of time using a sort of outsource a part of the workflow to the outside party, and you can focus on the most important thing. Okay, so I'm going to save that image, and let's just save in the same directory as our game, so to the jumper, and so we got this. Let me just save it to the asset. Okay, and let's just save it, and we can close Midjourney for now, and you can see that we already got this asset here. Okay, of course you can just click and drag and then got this asset to your scene, right? But clearly we need to process that. This is just treat it as a sort of the whole part of the image. Then you input that, and you see that it's a sprite. Okay, and the color, of course you can even change the color of it, right? Like adding a sort of filter on the original image, and yeah, but that's clearly not enough, because one, it's just the image. It will not interact with your game object. So if you import a person inside of it, you can't step on it. You just fall through it because it's just an image. You can use it as a background, of course, and but it would not interact. So it got no sort of a collider mechanism. There's got no physics applied to it. So clearly that's not enough. And this is for one thing. The other thing is that I sort of need to cut it, sort of need to process it. For now, it's just a whole part. I need to cut that into different tiles so I can use different tiles. Okay, so let's just do that. Alright guys, so let's start building that. First thing is that if you click here, you can see that we got pixel per unit. So the concept behind the pixel per unit is pretty simple. Is that we got the say we got a canvas like this, and we divide that into different units, and in one unit we can cram a lot of information inside. So we got 1 2 3 5 6 7 8, a lot of info here. Okay, and of course we can just cram 1 2 3 4 info here, or we just can cram just one info. Okay, so if you think about it, this is the most efficient way, or this is the way. It's not necessarily the most efficient, but definitely this will be a way that convey much more information. Okay, so if it's an image, it will be a high a definition image. Okay, so if you understand that, you can see that we got a pixel per unit is 100, so it's pretty high. Okay, and so for example, if I got a 10 and apply it, remember this is a pretty big one. Okay, so if I apply it, it would just become huge. And you might wonder why the pixel per unit changed the whole image size. But if you think about it, it's pretty understandable. That's the reason, because we already got a pretty big image that contain all sort of information. Okay, so imagine we got a image like this that are crammed with numbers, and if you just put one number inside of a unit of a container, it requires you to have a lot of container, lots of units in order to get all this number outside from this box. Okay, but if you got a pretty crammed space that you can cram, say, a lot of number, maybe 10 number inside of this little unit, and you are going to feel less container. So yeah, this is sort of counterintuitive, but if you think about it, it's pretty easy to understand. Is that if you got a pixel per unit number pretty high, for example, you can even got a 200, and you apply that, the whole image will become pretty small, but it's pretty high definition, so you can zoom it in and it can still show your image pretty clearly, pretty sharply, rather than pixelize it. Okay, but if you make it pretty small, say 10, that will be a pretty big one. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. And for me, I think maybe I'm going to put it, because I already got this canvas size like this, so it will maybe need a bit fine tuning, maybe 50. Let me just try that. 50, and maybe a little bit 100 maybe. Okay, that's more like it. If you choose this, say you got a person here standing on this is pretty good. And of course you can even make it even smaller, so you got 150. That's more like it. Yeah, that's more like it. You can get all sort of a combination and you get different terrain. So let's stick with 150. Okay, and of course, you are going to edit it before you drag into the scene. I drag into the scene because I like to share with you guys how to change the size of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to just delete it from the scene and choose this asset. We already changed the pixel per unit, so that's pretty good. And what I'm going to do is to change the sprite mode from single to multiple. The reason for that is that if you choose single, you might just use a sort of a player's avatar inside of your scene, and that will be a single. But in fact, we are going to cut that into different pieces, and so it's a multiple sprite. Okay, and of course, you also got a sprite editor here. You can apply it first and then open the sprite editor, and you can see all these sort of a zoomed in image in a new window. And here comes the time of the slice it, and of course if you choose the automatic slice, okay, so we choose automatic, and I think these AI generators won't be able to automatic. I think the automatic is that you got the background of sort of transparent, and you slice it and you can just get the edges of it. But this one we can't use that, so we have to do them manually, and that's where things got a little bit interesting. So we get the grid by cell size, okay, and you can do that, and you can fine tune that, and you can got the isometric grid, okay, and this way you can get a different shaped part of the grid. But for me, I still prefer this old school grid by cell size, because I think most of the time it do fulfill that criteria. Just needs a little bit tweaking, okay, and I think I need to add a little bit of padding here, okay, maybe just 10 of the padding. Okay, so we get a little bit of space, and I think I'm going to make the pixel size a little bit longer here, and maybe a little bit offset, and try. This required a little bit of fine tuning, and y-axis definitely need a little bit. Because if you got too down, it's not going to work. Maybe minus. Can't do that. Let's think about it. Okay, I think I got it away. I got the offset. I can drag it down. Okay, so I can get a clear inclusion of that, and I can get the padding a little bit more. Okay, so it's sort of include everything. Maybe a little bit more than that. That's too much. And of course, you can click and drag this, and give you a much fine-tuning way of adjusting that. Okay, and as long as it did the work, you can just leave it. You don't need to be too precise, because this is just a sort of experimental process. And hey, the asset is AI generated, so we got nothing to complain. Okay, they already got a pretty decent, and I think this just the size of this is a little bit small. Maybe just to increase the size, so you can. Yeah, this just requires you to be patient and just include every part of that. And we got the y-axis ready, and let's talk about x-axis. I think we need a little bit padding of x-axis. Still not enough. 20, maybe a little bit more. 25, 7 maybe. Okay, so we got the previous part ready, and this part, yeah, we sort of move to the right side, but don't worry, because as I said, as long as you got a few pixels to work, or you got 100 assets, as long as you got 1 or 2 can work, it will do. Okay, so slide it, and yeah. So remember, if you already slice it, you can actually choose it. Okay, this is a sort of like the coordinate system I discussed with you earlier. You can see that they got a sort of a name of each of the tiles, and they got the position of it, and they got a pivot of it, and yeah, once you are satisfied with it, even though some parts I'm not too satisfied with it, but as I said earlier, we need to change our attitude towards our workflow when we include artificial intelligence. As I said multiple times, if artificial intelligence can generate things pretty quickly, um, even though they sometimes got just one or two among 1,000 of the creation, but that's still worth something. Okay, so you can import that into your workflow. So I'm going to apply that. Okay, once I apply that, I can just safely close it because I already generate a lot of things. Okay, so I can apply that and I can close it. And for now, it's just one sprite, but remember, you have already choose the sprite mode to multiple, so you can just click it and choose from all sort of a slice that you have been sliced down. Okay, so I think this is pretty good, so I can use it. I can just click and drag, put it inside of it, and here you are. It's pretty good. It's sort of a Mario shaped thingy, and I think that looks great. Let me use my mouse here because I got a lot of going on my table. Okay, so yeah, don't worry, let me just use this. Okay, so let me just zoom in. Okay, so this is pretty good, and of course you can just click and drag. For example, if you got a sort of wall here, you can just click and drag, and you just want to see the result of it without actually doing something too complex. And as you guys can see, this part clearly is not good enough because is not cutting the edges of it. So this will be the sort of substandard generation of AI. But we already got a lot of pretty decent creation. So we can just delete it. We can single that out and delete it. You will have no hard time delete it because you already know it generated by AI is pretty fast. Okay, you just choose the one that you think is good, and that's basically the idea behind the AI generation. AI generation, sorry. And yeah, once you are satisfied with it, you already finished the first step, which is to create the sprite sheet and slice it. And in next video, I'm going to make it much more organized and to make all these AI generated assets much more usable in a project kind of a way. So we are going to make it project ready rather than some experimental step like this. So this is how I want to share with you guys when we approach a certain technology advancement, we need to make it project out of it. We can't just make a great breakthrough in certain theoretical point of view, but never apply that to our daily life or the workflow that you do every day. So that's why I tend to share with you guys. Hey, there's good technology out there, okay, and hey, we can do that this way, and let's just experiment with that a little bit, and okay, this is a good way to go, and we can make it a new workflow out from there, and we can change the old habit, we can change the old structure of even the structure of the company, and then we can make a new norm, a new workflow, and it can greatly improve the efficiency. Okay,